YouTube. It's your girl Mercedes. Mercedes gang, you feel me? The gang, because we don't come with no price tag, period. Anyways, y'all, we back on another video. The strange disappearance of Nardo Wick by Get Like Prince. You know what I'm saying? Go check out his channel. You know what I'm saying? Show some love, y'all. Support him and everything. I ain't even gonna waste no time. Let's just get straight into this bitch, because I want to know what did happen to Nardo Wick. Let's get it.
Nardo Wick, somebody who had the game in the chokehold for a few months, but after his debut album, he disappeared, and that was years ago. But fans now, they're starting to fiend for some of his music, and they want his music so bad, they doing petitions just begging him to drop music again. But what happened? Why did he leave rap? See, Nardo came into music a while ago. Back during 2021, he blew up. But the way he got in a position to blow up was interesting. A story when I seen with many artists. Growing up, he didn't have it too good. When he was young, his mama got locked up, and this wasn't no little sentence. She didn't go away for a month or two. His mama got sent to prison for 5 years over some fraud charges. So growing up for real, it was just him and his dad until she got out. And when she did, he went over there with her. And his life ain't getting no better. You gotta think about it. She just did 5 years in a pen. She ain't had no money.
That's what I'm saying. She ain't got no type of stability, none of that. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to, I don't want to say man up, but more like leader up, you know what I mean? Like, be a leader, do what you gotta do, because that's just what comes with it.
Stability in life, they were struggling, and Nardo was speaking on it. And with Nardo being in this situation with no money, of course he was gonna try to go out and get it. During high school, he played football a little bit, but he threw all that out the window because he was broke. He was not trying to wait on no money to come. And sadly, he fell into a trap many young black kids fall into today. The street life.
Before you was rapping, you was playing football, right? I think so. You was playing football? Was it like high school?
Nah, in basketball. I stopped when I was like 14, 15.
Okay. Why you stop?
Okay, I feel like it would take too long.
You said too long.
That's like when I started doing other. When I got like 15, that's when I started doing like towards like street shit. So mine was just on some. I could was doing both. My mind was.
Amazing means the Tooth Fairy made it to the house last night.
I don't care about no. They're not real.
Amazing.
I don't care. They're not real. Let's just be realistic.
Feeling it, and I already knew what I wanted to do. By that time, I knew I wanted to rap. Like by 14, I knew I wanted to rap. I feel like football won't take too long. But if you got that, that's what you do it. Don't just cause I feel me.
Yeah.
And for a while, that man was stuck in the streets. It would be times when his mama broke down crying because she knew what kind of path that nigga was going down. Literally, she did 5 years in prison. But still, his mama crying in front of him, begging him not to do what he was doing. That ain't make him want to change. The only thing that changed how he felt about the streets was rap. He said himself that he knew the only way he was going to succeed in rap if he stopped being in the streets.
I said what made me change when I felt like I wasn't gonna make it if I kept doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
That what made me change. I was like,
Yeah.
God.
You gotta see it for yourself.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is the street life itself almost ruined his music career. When this situation happened that I'm about to tell you about, it really happened at the worst time of his career. This was like his height. He had Who I Smoke, all these big songs. He was actually having a name in rap when all of this went down. And when it happened, the world thought bro was done for. They thought his career was over before it even got to August 19th, 2021. Articles came out saying Nardo Wick was taken into custody by U.S. Marshals. And I mean, it was footage of this arrest and all. You see all these marshals with guns out pointed at Wick and all the people he was with. It looked like
They had them boys on lock. That's what happened. They had them boys on lock. Look at him, man. The fact that they would even let people take pictures, like, that's kind of wild.
Oh, crazy what's going on. Them niggas had the K9s out. DH News wrote, Jacksonville rapper Nardo Wick was reportedly taken into custody by the U.S. Marshals on Wednesday, August 19th. In the footage, we see 19-year-old rap star and another man laying face down on the pavement as law enforcement surround them at gunpoint. According to ACT, he was arrested on concealed weapon charges, but no other details was released. And after this, people ain't have a clue what was going on with Nardo Wick. They was probably thinking he was done for.
Wait, hold on now. How y'all can't just slide by with that? Like, what you mean? Arrested for concealed weapon by U.S. Marshals. Court documents suggest the arrest is related to a 2020 case. Ooh. I see why they're not letting too much information out. I mean, was this like a murder case? I don't know.
This situation ended with him just getting a weapon charge that got dropped later on. After the marshals put him in cuffs, searched the car, they ended up finding his weapon. In the initial photo, Wick was sitting on the ground handcuffed as several officers were standing around him. It's been shared that Wick was detained by the U.S. Marshals, and while reports stated it was all due to a concealed weapon charge, exact details remain scarce. And like I said, at first people thought Nardo maybe was doing something. They might have thought he was back in the street life. But turns out that whole situation didn't have nothing to do with Nardo. It was all his brother.
So we also woke up one day to the blogs and saw that you can speak on, if you can't speak on this or if it's a misunderstanding, but they were like, Nardo, Wick, U.S. Marshals, go.
They had picked my brother up for murder, but they was coming for him. But we was all in the hotel. We from kind of Atlanta. We were getting in the car with our bag. And they was only for him, so they weren't even supposed to.
Yeah, I'm busy.
Right, but they ended up putting you in cuffs, putting you on the ground, all that shit.
It was only supposed to him. And then I had a bag, like a fit man, there was a gun in the bag. And all my jewelry in the bag. And like when they came, I dropped it.
Nah, I'm busy right now.
But all our charges got dropped besides the one who wanted to murder.
She over here talking about some Waffle House. Man, I'm making a video. Let me make my content for my peoples, please. Goodness.
Because they weren't supposed to, for illegal search, they weren't supposed to. Weird.
But during this time, Nardo couldn't catch no break. It was like every few weeks, he was in the news for something, and it was never good. The internet tried to cancel this nigga at one point. And I'm going to say, it was because he was being ignorant. This nigga came out, he did an interview. He was basically saying the reason he never got a job growing up because why would I work when I could just go robbing and make more money than I would be working a regular job?
Wait a minute now. I think he might have been misunderstood here, because I don't think he's saying like it's cool to go do this instead of getting a job or do that instead of getting a job. Like, I think what he's saying, like, that might have been his mindset then. You know, I don't know. I just think he might have been misunderstood with that statement.
Like, if you don't want to do no, you don't want to do it. Like, I was just looking at it like, I go rob, get like this much. Why would I go to work for a week? You feel me? Yeah, for real. For real. I mean, if I go do this to somebody and get $7,000, $5,000
in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, less than that. Go to work for 2 weeks.
$200 for a week.
2 weeks to make $500. Hell no.
But I'm talking about, internet was having a field day with this man. He was getting so much backlash. The world was looking at him like he was just trying to promote this to the youth. They was feeling like you trying to promote robbing and stealing to these young kids that's coming up. And the hate he got was so bad. He gave a statement on the situation. Nardo said, I'm not trying to influence nobody to go rob nobody. They asked a question about my past, and I answered. That's what I was doing when I was 15, 16. A product of my environment. My mama had just come home from prison, and it was a hard time for us. We ain't had nothing. I would never try to tell or convince a young black man or anyone period to crash out.
That's what I'm saying. It seemed like nowadays when you know, make a certain statement, especially if it's about yourself, people will take it as in like, oh, you're trying to do this or you're trying to do that. And it's like, wait, y'all, you asked the question. Like, I'm just answering it. So that's what I mean. Like, he was completely misunderstood.
I changed my life, started taking rap serious because I knew I wouldn't make it if I kept doing what I was doing. It ain't nothing wrong with working a job. Robbing ain't cool, and I ain't trying to make it seem cool. I was just speaking on my past. What I was doing was young and dumb, and I changed for the better and learned from my mistakes. And even after all of that, he did a sit-down interview with Act and was just speaking on the topic.
For the people who watching, like, you know, and I seen the interview.
So you think you know Wicks, but do you really?
I don't want to know. Move around,
First
buddy.
up, we've got.
By the way, salute to the guys over a Big Facts, you know what I mean?
Don't even fit your
Then
hood.
asked you about, like, you know, like maybe what jobs you had, and you were like, well, you know, I was kind of like robbing people. And people thought a few things. They said, well, it's not like he glorifying it, right? Because I think you're like, well, why do that if, you know what I mean, I could get the same shit?
I'm saying, my mom was 16, 15.
Right.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Completely misunderstood, and all he's doing is answering everyone's question about his past and his mindset and what he's thinking. Like, you see what I'm talking about, bro?
So, but, and that was your mindset then. You're sleeping on the ground, you don't really know much, you're trying to help your family. Your mother is in a situation where she can't really provide like she used to provide, and you got to deal with all this, right? So, all of that's happening, right? When do you kind of figure out, like, man, this probably ain't gonna be the way?
I ain't know really, like, when I started rapping, like, seriously. Like, cause I made my first song at 17, but even then, it's still like little shit. I think even besides doing that, you feel me? Like time passed, you get into other type of shit. So you feel me? Other type of shit was going on. So I started rapping. Boom.
How y'all feel about that, though? Do y'all feel like he was just speaking on his past, or was he kind of glorifying him robbing? And even
I think he was speaking on his past, personally. I feel like people are so quick to just crucify and attack everybody for giving a simple answer. Like, you know what I mean? Like, y'all talking about his boy's past. Y'all talking about the way how he used to move, the way how he used to be in the cut and all that shit. But then y'all get upset when he gives y'all an answer that y'all chose to, mind you, y'all asked the question. Or the journalist, whoever asked the question, he gave an answer. You know what I mean? I think it's kind of stupid. People think he's trying to promote this type of stuff to the youth, because do you not see how bad it is today? All the school and all that. Yeah, I don't think anybody would want to keep promoting this type of stuff, to be honest.
You know, he said he wasn't promoting robbing to the youth,
especially with that type of status. Let's just be real. Like, let's just be real. You know dang well if you promote something like that, everybody's gonna completely dislike you. You gotta think smart. You gotta move smart.
That man did have an effect on the youth. Back in November 2021, news was breaking that over 50 students got suspended for doing this Nardo Wick TikTok challenge.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Are you kidding me? My bad, y'all. Are you really serious right now? The whole who won't smoke with the da-da-da-da-da. Like, are you kidding me?
Was suspended in Clarksville, Tennessee over the Nardo Wick challenge, when people would act like they was holding a gun to the camera. Far Chicago wrote that multiple times this challenge resulted in suspensions. They wrote the video showed teachers simulating gun violence by holding their phones and mimicking the use of weapons. From what we understand, they were told they were going to be in a video kind of promote the school spirit. They had no clue that they would be made to look like they was holding guns. They had no clue that their phone was going to be used like that. They said the video was heavily edited to make it look as...
It's their phone. You don't pay their bills. It's their body. You don't sit here. I'm sorry. Now, like, you telling me, are you for real serious that, what they say, 50-something kids got suspended for doing this little challenge? It's a challenge. Y'all didn't have a problem with the whole mannequin challenge, the Tide Pod challenge, all these challenges that went by, y'all had no issues with. But yet, this one comes up and now all of a sudden it's a problem. Cause that's crazy.
So completely
I don't know how to feel about that.
By the student at the school. We was extremely disappointed when we saw the first video. And even though this situation didn't directly have anything to do with Nardo, his name was involved with it. This had something to do with his music. This just drug his name into even more negative press. That wasn't even the end of the situation. It get worse. And people was mad as hell about this one situation. After the students got suspended, the police department ended up coming to the school. And they said something that ain't sit right with a lot of people. Police department said, because if I would have seen you on the streets pointing an object that looked like a gun, I don't got time to sit and think if it's a gun or not. I'm just gonna shoot.
And see, and that's how most of you cops out here, like, get completely hated for. How you gonna shoot a kid that's pretending to point a gun at his damn phone and he ain't got no gun in his hand? Let's just be real. Stop being ridiculous. You're talking to high schoolers. You just looked stupid with that statement. You looked real dumb. Everybody in the comment section, get on his ass. Everybody. Everybody. Because who is you talking to? Why are you telling high schoolers this? Kids. That if you wouldn't hesitate to shoot. And see, and that's the issue right now. And you're white. You're white. That's what makes it even worse. And that's what makes us continue to believe that there ain't nothing but shitty ass cops. Even though we know there is a small percent of good, actual good, decent cops. That was stupid. That was dumb. Oh my God.
Now look, I get that you trying to stop them kids from doing the challenge.
That's what I'm saying. I understand, but
to a group of high schoolers, you definitely could have worded it better if you wanted to. But this had people mad, and someone from the area said this: "Mama and I need a badge number. Clarksville Police Department on the line, please. How an officer gonna threaten high schoolers over a TikTok? My sister ain't no threat to society.
That's what I'm saying.
None of them other kids. Now I know the secret agenda officers have here in Clarksville, and I don't like what that officer said. I mean, be honest, nigga. You can tell if somebody holding the phone or not off a glance. I'm not finna really dig into this.
Oh
in a world where academic deadlines meet the blank page.
I don't care about school. Kids go to school, but I've already graduated, so.
It's not the right video for that. But on a positive note, at the end of 2021, Nardo did do something big. He dropped his debut album. People enjoyed it. It sold about 30K. Did decent for a first project.
I remember I listened to the album.
The project was looking good for him. Then 2022, he came out, dropped the deluxe, basically a whole nother album with 13 more songs. And this also did good. But this is where his musical story slowed down. Yeah, he might have all these big songs, all these big features, but this album...
You know what? It kind of makes sense why this man disappeared. Look at all these problems back to back that's just like hitting this man. He can't get a break. All because of his music and his name. And it's just like, if I was him, I probably would have dipped out too.
Album will be the last full body of work we got from him. Nigga, we's in 2024 now. We ain't got a Nardo Wick tape since 2022. So to really put it in perspective so you can understand, this man barely had a career for real. He only got one album out, not including the deluxe, that didn't even sell 30,000 copies first week. So for you without a stable career to up and disappear is crazy. And I know how I spoke on how I don't like the whole mysterious act in the previous vid, but Cardi, for example, him not dropping music for 4 years is only working for him because he built the fan base. He built the foundation and built this cult-like fan base around him. So him stepping away from music is a big deal, but it's not gonna affect them sales. I promise you, if Cardi come out and drop a project today, he's selling over 120,000 copies first week. But something telling me Nardo Wick finna fall into the same trap Polo G did. And I gotta give a little backstory on this. If you don't,
yeah, because we ain't heard no album from Polo G since like, I think 2021, 2022, something like that. 2021, something like that. I don't know. But it's been a minute since I've heard some Polo G.
You know, this man Polo G dropped the album in 2021. It did right.
Yeah.
Had the deluxe doing good. Everything was looking so good for Polo. It was looking like this man had the perfect career. Like,
I remember that album.
He was the next rap superstar until he wasn't. After this album, he wouldn't announce his next project until 2 years later in 2023. He had a whole press run for this album, announced the date, track list, all that. But some legal problems came up, and he delayed the album. You know, you might be thinking, oh, it's just a little delay. No, he ain't delayed a month or two. He delayed this album an entire year. The man announced the album in August 2023.
Oh shit! Oh no, fuck that. I wouldn't even bother listening to that shit. Hell no. Cause now you got me fucked up. Waiting a whole year for an album? My bad, y'all. But damn.
And delayed it until August 2024. So he went 3 full years with no album. I can't even imagine how his fans were feeling. But about a week ago, he comes out and dropped this long-awaited album. And it sold 24,000 first week. You gotta remember what I said. This a man that had the potential to be rap's next superstar. If you go take a look at his last 2 albums, it's bad. His 2020 album sold 97,000 copies first week. And his 2021 album sold 146,000 copies first week. And not even
24,000? Yeah. Damn. You barely hanging on by a thread, my boy.
Now, this album had a #1 hit song on it. And I know sales ain't everything, but they normally speak on how interested people are in his artist. And for Nardo Wick to pull this where he don't drop music for years, something telling me his next project is about to do horrible. Unless this man come out with a big hit song, this project he about to drop is not gonna do too well. But I guess time will tell.
I mean, you never know. Let's just keep it real. You really never know how someone's project would do if they did drop it. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I've seen a couple people fiending for, you know, Nardo Wick's music, and I just wouldn't be surprised, you know what I mean, if he did drop another little tape and it just blew up, you know what I mean?
But this period of Nardo not dropping any projects, any music, don't mean he wasn't in the news. One of the biggest stories in hip-hop last year had something to do with Nardo Wick. And in reality, this could have ruined his career, maybe even his life. So back late last year, about November, Nardo Wick was out, and a fan happened to see him, and the fan just wanted a picture. So he walked up to Nardo, he like, hey, can I get a pic? And before Nardo could even respond,
shit.
one of his quote-unquote,
that nigga was knocked out cold like a fucking beach chair. Oh my gosh, he was on the ground. Hold on, let's rewind
Nardo
that.
Wick was out, and a fan happened to see him, and the fan just wanted a picture. So he walked up to Nardo, he like, hey, can I get a pic?
Look at this man. Look at this man. They said put him in a coffin. Then he is done. Yeah, he gonna need some hospital treatment after that one.
And before Nardo could even respond, one of his quote-unquote security guards just stole off on dude. He get hit, he knock out, hit the wall, then the other security guard come and start punching on him while he already knocked out. And
okay, that's not cool. That's a little too far. Once somebody's down, leave them be. Don't continuously keep punching them. That's not funny. Okay, now that's not funny.
On fire. I'm not over-exaggerating. Every single person you could have thought of was mad at Nardo Wick. Even though the video you do see him kind of try to help Buddy while he was knocked out, at the end of the day, them was his people that hurt his...
I understand that, but at the same time, I don't blame Nardo Wick, especially if he did try to help dude, and especially if he did apologize to the family. Like he didn't know dude was gonna come over here and Millie whopped somebody. Like, he didn't know that.
Dude who ain't do nothing wrong but just want to pee. And after it went down, he got sent straight to the hospital, and it was bad. Kid who got knocked out, relatives was online just speaking on the situation. His mama got on Facebook and said, I want everybody to see what they did to my son. And no point was my son aggressive, and no point did he...
You know what? I can't even blame the woman either. I can't even get mad at her because, like, this could have really been... This was more of life or death type of situation. Like, that was taken too far. And all he wanted was a picture. And I'm pretty sure if Nardo Wick seen him or whatever... He probably would have stopped those dudes and would have just simply took the photo. But from what I heard, Nardo was faced the other way, like turned away from the situation. So, yeah.
So, any sign of harm? My son just wanted a picture with his favorite artist, and that's what he got. I'm sick to my stomach to think about how this could have turned out. Please help me share this, please. As a mother, I'm begging you to just help me get justice for my son. Anyone who know him, know he the sweetest kid ever. No drugs, no alcohol, none of that. And look, I get that Nardo a rapper and people might be out to get him, but you cannot be doing that. If y'all was that afraid of somebody just walking up to you to get a picture, you gotta move different. You gotta move so that people cannot openly walk up to you and find out where you at. Cause this was crazy. And internet was justifiably snapping on him. The dude who got knocked out, relatives, was even doing interviews speaking on how this situation affected him.
No, come on.
That night, Sunday night after.
They doing interviews?
The biggest gangsters in the country. This here is gonna be a night that we never gonna forget.
That's crazy.
So, had you both been inside? Did you go?
Yeah, so we actually both were VIP. We both had VIP tickets to go into the show. And if you see me with the V shirt on right there, and I was just a few feet behind him when this happened. They were exiting the club, and we were walking. You could see I was walking towards Nardo too.
Oh, so this is the guy that actually got knocked out? Because I was about to say, I feel like the only person that should be getting interviewed was the person that got hurt.
We weren't. It's not like we were running or anything. George was just walking towards Nardo with his phone up, and the guys that were around him, they didn't hit him at first. They just kind of looked at him.
Oh, so this is his family then. He must not be able to speak or doesn't want to do an interview. I don't know.
And he was like, hey, can I get a picture? And then out of nowhere, the guy hit him from the side and just knocked him out. And then the other guy continuously hit him while he was knocked out.
You know, the thing is,
I don't think those were security guards.
I don't think these was actually security guards. I'm pretty sure these was just some of his homeboys that he had around as quote-unquote security guards. Because I feel like if they was actually
that's fucked up.
They wouldn't have did that man like that. But past all that, what did Nardo have to say? I mean, this is the situation he was in. He said, I don't condone what happened to my fan George after my show in any type of way. I expressed to him and his mama how sorry and concerned I was that it happened to him. Multiple times before there was ever anything on the internet. I sent his mama my number that night it happened. I was even gonna make a post about it to try to find out who he was before his mama could text me. I can't control another grown man action. I didn't even know that was gonna happen. And I was mad when it happened. I tried to stop it in the video, as you can see. And if somebody got on the video, you can see how mad I was. I love and appreciate all my fans and don't condone what happened. That ain't gangster. It ain't cool in no type of way. In just a few days.
I agree with this statement because it is true. A grown man can't control what another grown man does. That's just what it is, to be honest. And I do I give him credit for at least reaching out to the family, reaching out to the mama, you know, acknowledging the fact that this was not right. And, you know, of course, not even condoning it either. So it's like, I give him props because, like, right in that moment, that's all he could really do. The damage already been done. So I'm going to give him his flowers on that one.
Is after all that went down, Nardo security guards turned themselves in. One of them was a man named Jack, and the other was a 15-year-old boy. And both of them got charged with felony battery. But not only did that 15-year-old got charged with that, he got charged with being a minor and possession of a firearm while wearing a mask. And what's crazy is this situation ain't turned out good for Zachary. Just a couple months ago, his court date came up after he got bond, and he skipped it. So they forfeited his bond. And that's for Nardo Wick, he ain't really been in the news since then. He done dropped some songs, did some features, but that's it for him musically wise. But just because Nardo was out the way, don't mean his family members was. Nardo brother, Hayward Biggins, got into something deep back in March 2024.
Yeah, 29-year-old Hayward Biggins has been identified as the man caught on camera shooting into a home while there were people inside. Now, he is facing 2 felony charges, one for burglary and one for shooting inside an occupied dwelling. And this was all caught on camera.
And all that was on camera. I can't show it, but I can describe it. He walks up to the door. He tries to open it, sees it's locked. He turns around, kick the door, still nothing. And for whatever reason, he pulled his gun out. They just shoot at the door. And they said after it happened, he was found lying in the road near a garbage can. Reports said he appeared to...
He was on that pure. That's what he was on. He was on something. That man was on something. I don't care what anybody got to say.
Disoriented and under the influence of an unknown substance. And when they tried to arrest bro, it ain't go smooth. He was kicking, throwing himself around. Bro was tripping bad. And what's even stranger,
he had a little bad trip. He had a little bad trip.
Situation worse is that he moved into that next door house one day before. So you really got to understand the situation and what he did to these people. These people have been staying at this house for months. Never had no problem. They loved the house. They was proud of what they got. And this nigga comes out of nowhere and just shoots into their house. It traumatized them so bad, they couldn't even stay in their house no more. After the situation, they stayed in hotels for weeks. But 12 did some digging in the Nardo brother. And they found out that back in his past, he was on Addies and Perk and even had bad withdrawals at one point. But not only that, they said that he also might be bipolar, but ain't have no prescribed medication for it. And I did look for some info about the case, but I don't know if anything has went down in the courts about it yet, because this was recent. This was just a couple months ago. I don't know, bro. This is a crazy situation, and I hope that them people okay. But what about Nardo in his career? Like I said at the very start of the video, it's been a petition image going around of people begging Nardo Wick to drop more music. Cause like y'all learned, he has been.
Hey, y'all want to sit here, this dude talk about his next album gonna be a flop. I mean, based off of this tuition, cause I ain't never seen supporters gather and come together to make a tuition for a certain artist to drop more music, which is something I've seen. This is like the first time I'm seeing something like this. So if they asking for if they doing a whole petition, I'm pretty sure his next drop is gonna make some sales. I mean, shit.
Going for a while now. How will it do? I don't know, if I'm gonna be honest. Unless he come out with a hit song, he gonna end up in the same boat as Polo G. But worse, cause crazy features not gonna save your project. That Polo G album I spoke on earlier had a Future feature, Lil Durk, Glorilla, one of the hottest female artists out right now. She got a big song every other week, if you're being honest, and that didn't even save it.
I didn't even know he dropped this album. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't even know Polo G dropped another album.
So what do y'all think is gonna happen with Nardo Wick? But maybe I could be wrong. This nigga got a hit in the vault. As soon as that album get ready to come out, he dropped the hit. Whole world paying attention to him again. Guess we gotta find out. I hope Nardo just stay out the way and drop the music. Like what's happening with Kanye West. This man just dropped the worst album in his career the other week, and it's a dark reason behind it. Ye been facing real bad addictions, and if you really want to know what's causing him to go down this dark path, click on the video screen.
Alright, y'all. My bad. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope to any Nardo Wick fans, y'all got some answers, you know what I'm saying? Please like, share, subscribe, turn on your bell notifications, all that jazz. You want to show some love, show some love. You don't want to, it's all good. Sadie's gang ain't gonna be butthurt. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one. Deuces.